Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today, maybe not the most exciting for some of you. I am fairly excited as this is my second ever Tommaso Ciampa. I've got the Ilya Dragunov, the Brandon Walker. I almost called Braun Breaker. Yo, that's crazy. And I do want to get the Usos that are in this set, but they're just so fucking expensive, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, we've got the Tommaso Ciampa here. I wouldn't have really considered picking this up for anything over 20 bucks. But as you could see, I did leave the price tag sticker on it. So you can see I've got this bad boy here for $12.99. Sadly, there was nothing else but just a few Tommaso Ciampas there. Maybe here in the next week or so I'll go back and see if there's anything else. But you know, maybe we'll get lucky one of these days, maybe we won't. Either way, why don't I shut the hell up and we can get Tommaso Ciampa out of his plastic prison now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the Tommaso Ciampa out of his plastic prison, you can see he may not come with a lot of accessories, but he does come with enough for someone who realistically doesn't always wear a bunch down to the ring and stuff of that nature. But as you can also see, he's got two different sets of hands. We've got the weapon / mic holding hands already plugged into the figure, and then you've got the Ricochet Kawhi Leonard style hands as MDT calls it. And I mean, they do look pretty nice. Can't really say too much other than the fact that the one's black and the other one's skin tone, but anywho, we've also got this nice, very smooth feeling jacket here. Got DIY written there, all the nice blues and yellows that combine together here. It's really nice. I can't say I'm hating on this at all. My buddy JCW Fed recommended I get this Tommaso Ciampa, and well, when I saw it for the very low price of $13.99, I realistically couldn't help it. Everything I ended up grabbing from Ollie's would have costed me the same amount as this figure if I bought it online, or maybe even at Walmart necessarily. So, win's a win. But speaking of a W here, let's get into this figure. And I do love this head scan. It is a reuse of that Ringside Collectibles Tommaso Ciampa, if I remember correctly. I can't realistically say any of his figures haven't used that since he's had the long beard. But just to show you here, the same exact head scan. Maybe the beard's painted a little bit differently, and there's more gray here. But yeah, this Tommaso Ciampa pretty much uses that same exact head scan. I do like it though, and I'm actually really loving how it's posable on this neck peg and stuff, as where the Ringside Collectibles Ciampa really does not have this much posability neck-wise. But of course you've got the unique Tommaso Ciampa torso, as I don't really recall too many people using this torso. Maybe I'm wrong, and there's plenty of people who use this torso and I'm just not recognizing it because it's actually got the chest hair decal. It kind of looks like a Damien Mizdow torso, or well, just a Sandow torso in general. But yeah, I can't complain so far when it comes to this figure. Think everything blends in quite nice. Right before I did the review, started doing the review, I did check everything out, so I know no hot water treatment is needed today when it comes down to Tommaso Ciampa here. He can actually kick forward with both legs quite well. Double jointed knees are smooth because they're pin-in legs, they're not pinless. I do love the nice little designing down here though. There's a little bit of schmutz, that's okay. A lot of this stuff down here though, I want to say is stuff that he did throughout his career, like the CWC was the Cruiserweight Classic. I don't know, there's a lot of little references to him and his career, I'd say, throughout the like tights here. Glorious Bomb. I don't know. 11, 19, 16. I'll have to look into the date there because I think that's the date DIY formed. But, you know, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I do love these tights and stuff. It's actually quite nice, and honestly, even if we never see the Gargano and the matching gear to this, I feel like this would make for a fairly decent like singles run Ciampa, especially if you don't know, DIY does stand for do it yourself. So yeah, but besides that point, I don't really need to pause the camera to get into some action figure comparisons here because, well, I did pre-pull the figures out of my bin that I wanted to use for this action figure comparison. And, well, we can just put them out. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second, not gonna lie. But yeah, comparing this Tommaso Ciampa alongside the ringside exclusive Tommaso Ciampa, and I can't remember exactly what Elite Series Johnny Gargano that is. That could have been like Elite Series 105, maybe a little bit before 100. I don't fucking know. But all around, pretty nice, pretty neat. The Tommaso Ciampa is still looking quite nice and on par with his ringside collectibles variation. I don't know if it's just me, but maybe this new one is a little bit shorter. I don't know if it is or if it's just me, but yeah, all around pretty damn solid figure so far. And with that being said, why don't we get this figure into his final pose and we can get into the ending of this action figure review now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got this Tommaso Ciampa in his final pose here for the review, well, all I can really say is this Tommaso Ciampa is a pretty damn solid figure. I have, like, realistically no complaints about this formula-wise. I do enjoy the way this formula is. There is a little bit of schmutz here and there, like a little bit of paint app schmutz on this leg down here. Can't really see it, but I did point it out like a couple minutes ago. And then when it comes to this head scan, there is a little bit of schmutz next to that eyebrow. But honestly, not the biggest ordeal. I really can't say like this figure is the absolute fucking worst thing on planet Earth, but I can't say it is the best figure on planet Earth either. There's definitely more that are better, there's some that are worse. If we're talking about the Mattel line in specific, this is far from either or, but it is a pretty damn solid figure nonetheless. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rank this figure? Honestly, I think I'm gonna give him a good solid, I think we're gonna go with a good solid 7 out of 10. There's not really too much that's wrong with them, but realistically, at the end of the day, this is just a repeat, and maybe I'll end up deciding to bump the points up higher once we get the matching Johnny Gargano that goes with him, because for right now, this Tommaso Ciampa, more than less, might just sit on my shelf, or it may just sit in my bin until I'm ready to use him for the pick fed. But honestly, still, a good solid 7 out of 10 really isn't a bad ranking overall. The best thing about this figure realistically is the fact that with it being a repaint, it comes with a beautiful fucking jacket, beautiful piece. The repaint is nice because, you know, it's a nice solid gear that they gave us here. And then at the end of the day, the figure itself, honestly, it does pose a little bit better than the ringside one in my opinion, just because of the neck. But honestly, that's really not enough posability factor to be able to say that this figure should and or will get an 8 out of 10. Though maybe once we get the Gargano to match it, I'll change my mind there. For now, a good solid 7 out of 10 works for me. But then, of course, when it comes down to the Dave Meltzer star rating, the good old 1 to Young Buck match, the good old 1 to 5 stars, what would I have to scale him? Well, if I gave him a good solid 7, I'm going to give him a good solid 3 out of 5 stars. Just because it keeps it quite fair, doesn't make the rankings unusual. But honestly, at the end of the day, maybe you guys should let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. After all, this is just my opinion, and my opinion solely. But I think this is a pretty banging figure nonetheless. But yeah. Other than that though, I don't really have much else to say, so if you guys liked the video, feel free to like the video, but if you did not like the video, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you did, and you would like to, maybe check out some other content, feel free to. After all, we do have a plethora of content here, from action figure reviews to pick fed matches, to eventually you'll maybe find some unboxings. I do also have playlists for a lot of this kind of stuff here, so like you can see reviews, pick fed stuff, other stuff. We've got unboxings, others just kind of like a little bit of the random videos that I have up in here. Definitely a highly recommended video here if you guys do not know how to fix modern Mattel legs. And of course, my most viewed video of all time. Very proud of that one. But yeah, on that note, one more thing, if I could throw it in there, I'm not going to start playing the small tiny violin. I'm not going to start singing In the Arms of the Angels. But if you guys could, every subscriber does count. If you would like to subscribe, after all, it is free to subscribe, and on top of it being free, you'll be helping me out by reaching a big goal here on YouTube, as I feel 90% of us would love to be at 500,000 subscribers, obviously if not more than that. And well, we are so close. We are like fingertips away from at least being at 500, as we are at 408 right now. We met our 400 sub goal the other week, and I am very, very happy to say that I have great news as far as what that will be to show off for the 400 subscriber special. And I mean, I can kind of tease that, but I don't know, should I? I did tease it a little bit in the last review, so you might get a little teaser at the end, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, on that note, I digress. Have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone. But if I were, would I be happy? By the way, just going to show it off real quick. The UK tour night 4 will be on its way here soon, as we've got a new stage design. So keep your eye out for anything on that note when it comes to Instagram if you guys would like to. But other than that, have a good rest of your day, night, evening. I know I already said all that, but deuces, ooses, yeet.